Good morning, everyone. It's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and I'm realizing I did not start the timer, so let me quickly do that. Today is round two of the Major Open. Managed to score my win yesterday, and today's schedule is slightly different because I actually have to go give some chess lessons at the Liverpool Town Hall. So I've got to be there for 12:45. So that means, we're gonna have to just get into training very quickly and just try and get sharp as much as possible. Thank you for the comment, Mark, and I'll read it out for everyone in case people are watching without the chat at home on VOD. Mark says, "Yo, great win yesterday, Michael. Surprised though that you did not get out of the opening that well in your beloved Benoni. So I would like to address this very quickly before we get into today's training. So, firstly, thank you for the great win wishes. But secondly, my opponent yesterday is someone I actually know, someone who has actually been watching the Chess Lifestyle YouTube channel for around maybe 4 years. Because, I like to be generous to my viewers, I actually shared with him my whole Benoni repertoire and Lichess study maybe about a year ago. We've talked a lot about Benoni since then because he's a d4 player. He's also, trying to play Benoni as black sometimes. So I was in a bit of a sticky situation, right? So I played a line which I haven't got on the study, I know. And I know it's slightly bad, and he still played it very, very well. But at the end of the day, Benoni is unclear. Benoni is, very imbalanced. And as soon as the position kind of left the opening, I really understand where my pieces belong. I know, where my counterplay is. And he made the first mistake, which ended up being the last mistake. So, this is always what you can fall back on the Benoni. It's going to be imbalanced from start to finish, and you always have your chances to strike. So, you're not always going to be able to get the best positions out of the opening, objectively speaking. But I was pretty happy with how it went. Mappa, are you playing tournaments? Yes, I am playing tournaments. And do you think Benoni is good to learn? I would say that it really depends on your style and depends what you're looking to get out of the opening. Personally, I think it's an amazing weapon because it turns the tables on the d4 player. They want a more stable positional game. I make it much more complicated and imbalanced. And it really favors the person who really understands the structures and understands the ideas. So if you put in the hard work, you get the benefits. And you also basically have one repertoire against all of d4. So you don't need to, let's say, learn Catalan. You don't need to learn, a difference between d4, c4, or d4, knight f3. And if you are very interested, Mappa, you can check out the Benoni course on my YouTube channel. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, I have one Chessable course, C3 Venom, and one Modern Benoni Chess Lifestyle course on YouTube. So you can check that out. Without further ado, let me just share with you who I'm playing today. I am playing with the white pieces against Akshaf Shivakumar. So seems to be a talented Indian junior. Always fun to play against such players, and bring it on is all I can say. So let's get sharp. Let's get training. Mark says, understand that point. Funny how you like the Benoni because of the complications, and with white like C3 Venom is more of the calm side, right? It's again playing the player, right? I would not like to play the Benoni against an e4 player, because the e4 player is used to these dynamics, and whereas the d4 player is a little, not looking for that as much. But I have to say that, I'm not really against imbalances. I'm more against sharp double-edged positions. And I feel like the Benoni, it's not as sharp or double-edged as it looks. If you don't understand the Benoni, it looks extremely crazy. But the more you study it, the more you understand the themes, and it's actually not that crazy. It's very thematic in a lot of ways. I like thematic openings, is basically how I'd put it. Okay, let's solve this position. So Hervé against Grob. Of course, the pawn is on g4, I guess in a more unconventional way. Black to play. So we've got queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight, Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're 2 pawns down, but we've got bishop for knight. Bishop is on the line of the king. Queen and rook are on a battery. Queen is pressuring the queen. Queen is pressuring the knight. Queen is also pressuring the g4 pawn. I mean, if this was a blitz game, I'd just take on g4, I think, because then I'm threatening rook takes f3. I've won a pawn. That's plenty for me. But now I'm appreciating. Okay, actually, what if we look at our forcing moves? Can we make this work? Like rook takes f2 or bishop takes f2, something like this. Okay, so we should keep looking more carefully. So we've got pressure here, X-ray pressure, pressure on the knight, pressure on the pawn, pressure on the queen. Rook is pressuring d3. No back rank problems. Line of the king. Rooks are connected. Queen is only defended by the knight. Pressure between the queens. Queen is on the line of our king. Probably not relevant. Okay, so we want to play a move that kind of turns the tables in our favor. So what can we try? So what checks do we have? Got queen h2. We've got bishop f2. What captures do we have? We've got capture, 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 capture. And what threats do we have? Maybe bishop c7 threatens the queen. Queen g3 would potentially be nice, except the queen can take it. Okay, so let's start a calculation. So queen h2, probably not working right now, h2. Even actually queen h2, king h2 is probably even cleaner. Completely fine. So bishop 8, bishop f2, king f2. Now I can take the queen, and the knight is pinned, right? So bishop f2, they cannot take. And if bishop f2, and they go like king f1, I probably just take on e1. They take my queen, I take their queen, they take my bishop, and at the very least, I can take the rook. Take the pawn on d3, and the knight cannot take because it's still pinned, which would have defended the pawn, but it can't even do that. So bishop f2 looks very promising. Bishop f2, if king h1, then again, just take the rook. They take my queen, I take back. This time they can take with the knight, but I could take this pawn. I do have an exchange up, so I think I'm very happy with that. So I think let's do it. Okay, so king f1, and I was very happy with just taking on e1. Yeah, beautiful. So this is why you have to look at your checks and captures, because, yeah, this move bishop takes f2. I mean, I didn't like understand why it was good until after looking at it, but once you look at it, then it makes a lot more sense. Welcome Prabhat to the stream. Yesterday's game was very interesting. Good luck for today. Thank you. Appreciate the good luck wishes. And welcome Josh to the stream as well. Hope your chess training has been going well recently. And Shay, good to see you. And Shay was exactly who I played yesterday, so appreciate you joining the stream. Ready to do some tactics together. Thank you for the best luck wishes, and good luck to you too. And don't forget that, whenever you lose the first game of a tournament, you apply Swiss Gambit straight away, and you will have slightly easier pairings for the rest of the tournament. So if you're going to lose a game, better to lose it in round 1 than any other round. Okay, let's keep up with these tactics. Let's go. Okay, Keras to beat Hervé, black to play. Okay, so we've got queen, rook, knight versus bishop, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then extra 2 pawns. Okay, I'm suddenly seeing this idea of rook takes c1. Because rook takes c1, if they take with the queen, then I give checkmate. And if rook takes c1 and they take with the rook, then I go knight f3 and I win the queen. So is this good enough to be winning? Yeah, I mean, I take the queen, I even cycle the knight back to e4. It looks really, really strong. I think we can just play this. Wow, okay, there's an in-between move to attack our queen. Okay, so one thing I should have done there was make sure that there are no checks. And second thing is, are there any counterattacks that mean that they don't have to take back immediately? Very, very scary move, and I should have seen it. I guess I've still got knight f3, since they can't take with the rook or the pawn. So that they'll have to move their king either h1 or f2. If they go h1, we take the rook with checkmate. So they have to go f2. And then I can take their queen, and then if they want to take our queen, then we take their rook, and obviously we're completely winning. So knight f3, very, very important move. Wow, Keras didn't find knight f3. I mean, this is also the crazy thing. I mean, I think back in the day, people generally were a lot less tactically sharp than players nowadays. I mean, you know, I didn't know about, like, you know, this checks, captures, threats, or, like, you know, considering these forcing moves as much until relatively recently. I mean, you know, 100 years ago or 75 years ago, I'm sure it's a lot less defined than it is nowadays. So, yeah, crazy this was missed. I guess queen g3 is still somehow winning. Queen can't take because of mate, and if rook takes, again, knight f3. And I guess there's no real way to avoid this. But okay, good stuff. Rook takes c1. I know what you mean, Josh. Good stuff. Oh, playing a 1300? He didn't play like one in the last round. Yeah, that's going to be a tough pairing. Also, 1300, I don't understand, because I thought FIDE only goes down to 1400 nowadays. So is that like a 1300 ECF or what? Yeah, knight f3, good job. I guess if you trade rooks, then they have two outside passes, kind of scary. Yeah, don't want to give unnecessary counterplay. Okay, let's go. Canal against Hervé. White to play. So we got knight, bishop, bishop, queen, rook, rook. Knight, knight, bishop, queen, rook, rook. So they've got two knights, we've got two bishops. Queen a4 definitely feels like it does something. Because, oh wait, no. I was thinking, like, if they go b5, maybe we can sack on b5 and, you know, they can't take back, but the queen is defending. So okay, let's keep thinking before we tunnel vision. 2-6. 2-6, okay. So equal material, we've got the bishop pair. Their king's in the center, takes 2 moves for them to castle. We've got pressure on the knight on d4 with these 2 pieces. We've got pressure on the knight on d5. Our king is also 2 moves away from castling. There are some potential checks we need to watch out for, just in case. Some captures, some tension over here, some tension over here. Some X-ray pressure on the knight with our queen. We've also got pressure on their knight. Okay, so somehow we want to take an advantage here, so white to play. So what checks do we have? We've got queen a4, we've got queen b5. These are the only 2 checks. What captures do we have? We've got knight takes d5. We've got bishop takes knight. I'm also going to just change my mouse speed settings because I feel like I'm glitching all the time. Let's make this even faster. Let's max this out. See if that helps. Okay, yeah, so where was I? I was looking at captures. And then, okay, if not captures, then what about threats? Maybe f6 does something. Maybe bishop c4 develops a piece, pressures the knight. But okay, I reckon it's going to be one of the other moves. So let me try my checks first. So queen a4 check. What options do they have? They could block with the knight, they could block with the pawn, or they can block with the queen. Now, if they block with the queen, we can take and then take the knight and be up a piece. Although they do have knight c2. So we need to be sure that that's actually winning. I mean, if we have that line exactly, what we have at the end of the line is they go knight c2, they take our rook, and we can take their rook with this fork. So that looks promising. I need to be a bit more careful with that though. But let's just see if like any other moves just completely stop our attack. So b5. If we take the pawn and they take back with the pawn, I guess we could go bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, and queen blocks. Doesn't really seem worth sacrificing a piece for. And what about the knight blocking? I guess that maybe transposes. Or not quite, not quite. But yeah, it seems unclear, right? Like bishop check, king e7, bishop, I mean, this bishop c5, king f6, I mean, who knows what's going on. So let me consider my other moves first. I mean, it's promising we'll come back to it, but okay, what about bishop b5? Bishop b5, they just take with the pawn. I mean, I've achieved nothing, right? So what about our captures? What if I take this knight first? Take the knight first, the queen takes back. Not spotting why that might be useful. Queen a4, just b5. Looks fine. Queen is even defending the rook from d5. So, okay, what about bishop takes knight? Okay, if bishop takes knight and they take back with the pawn, maybe now I go queen a4. If they block with the queen, I go take the queen, king takes back, and I take the knight, so I win a piece. If I go bishop takes, pawn takes, and I go queen a4, what happens if they block with b5? Maybe I take with the knight here? If they take back with a pawn to win material, then I can go bishop takes check. King e7 is forced. Don't really see the follow-up. Bishop takes, pawn takes. Okay, so I've looked at all my checks, I've looked at all my captures. Queen a4 was promising. Let me quickly go back to that. Queen a4, if they block with b5, and I go knight takes b5, knight takes b5, bishop takes b5, pawn takes b5, queen takes b5. Nah, it doesn't. I mean, they can even block queen d7 there. So what threats did I have, if any? I mean, I looked at like f6 potentially. Doesn't look so good. I mean, I could just do bishop takes d4, pawn takes d4, queen takes d4. And just win a pawn. You have opposite coloured bishops. Hairy position. Seems reasonable enough. I mean, at the very least, we just win a pawn, right? I'm guessing there's something a bit stronger. Bishop c4 at the start? I mean, they can just take on e3. I don't see how that's really good for us. Like, bishop c4, they take on e3. I take back with the pawn. They take on f5. There's no even bishop takes f7 ideas because the rook is still defending their queen, so that can't be it. Bishop d4, pawn d4. I don't see anything better than just winning a pawn. I'm sure I've missed something here, and chat is giving the answer. Yeah, I don't see anything better than bishop takes d4, unfortunately. I mean, I get some spidey senses about queen a4, but I just can't make it work. Alright, bishop d4 it is. Okay, so, I mean, queen takes d4 wins a pawn. Otherwise, we try and get fancy with some queen a4 or throw in knight takes d5, but queen a4, let's say they block b5. I mean, what ways can we take it? If we take with the bishop, I mean, they just take back with the pawn. We cannot take with the knight because we lose our queen. If we take with the queen check, they just go queen d7. I guess we can then win here. Hold on. Queen a4, they play b5. If we take with the bishop... Right, if we take with the bishop and pawn takes, then we take, and if they block... we can take with the knight, maybe. And if they take our queen, then we go knight c7 and fork the king and queen. And in that situation, I think we've won 2 pawns, not 1 pawn. So I think queen a4 is actually even stronger. Queen a4, they block with the queen, we just take it and win the knight. Queen a4... yeah, I mean, when I was calculating this earlier, bishop b5 just wasn't a candidate move. Because I just thought I wouldn't ever have time to play it. But the point is I keep the pressure on this knight, which makes it work. Queen a4. If they go king e7, do I have a follow-up? I mean, at the very least, at least we've made them castle, and then I can take on d4, and that has to be a better version. So, okay, I'm pretty happy with queen a4. Yeah, and the idea was to take with the bishop, take with the queen, and then take here with the knight, I'm pretty sure was the point. Because if we just take here, I mean, then they take our knight, and we're probably lost. That's not true, actually. We're attacking their rook. So which one's better, actually? Do we want to take on d5 with the knight, or take with the queen? I mean, if we take with the queen, if they take our knight, we take their rook. Has to be better for us. So it's really about where I want my knight in the end, because here, I feel like they probably have to take my queen, in which we get this situation. Whereas if I take here, we get this situation. Probably they need to play bishop d6 to cover here. And somehow this feels like just a tad more fancy. If I can avoid being fancy, I prefer to avoid being fancy. But also, there's really nothing, right? These squares are covered. There's no checks. There's bishop b4 check. Would I have to worry about that? I have to be a bit careful, right? You know, like maybe bishop b4 is just like really strong. But I guess I could just take it with the queen. And then I stop them castling. Yeah, that. And then they take here. It's not as clear as I'd like. So maybe then I just take here. Just keep it simple. Let's just take here. Wow, it's incorrect. I mean, okay, saying is dubious since it helps black to develop the h8 rook 1 move faster. I don't know. What did I play in the end? I took on d7, right? And queen takes d5? Oh, that's actually another candidate move I did not consider. Because this hits the rook. There's no time to take on c3. Yeah, I just completely missed that this is possible. And rook a5 wins back one of the pawns. That's so interesting. Let's see what the computer difference is between these moves. Okay, so knight takes d5 is definitely best. Queen takes d7 is still fine, though. And rook a5 is kind of what I missed. But this is still better. It's not that much better, is it? Yeah. That's quite annoying. Whereas I was just getting spooked out by moves like bishop b4. Bishop b4, queen b4, queen d5. Yeah, I mean, this isn't completely clear to me. I mean, castle's queenside is ridiculous. Like, anyone who does that is using stockfish and cheating. There's no way you play you castle queenside here. It's just completely the wrong plan. But I guess the point is that black just cannot castle and actually white's king is safe. So maybe I should just force myself to calculate that one move further and appreciate that this is actually very good. Because yeah, if king d7 is top move, then yeah, white has to be better. Yeah, difficult one to evaluate. I mean, if I'd gone one move further in both lines, then maybe I could have got that a bit cleaner. But hey, good that at least we saw the idea of knight takes d5. What are people saying? 1300 ECF, right. So does the guy not have a FIDE, Shay? Isn't knight c6 more logical than knight b5? Queen a4, knight c6. When was this? I don't even remember. Okay, this was the correct answer. And this. Okay, and they give one check. I mean, instinctively, I want to put the king on a light square because I'm dealing with a dark square bishop and king d1. I use the pawn as shelter. I don't want to block any of my rooks. Let's just play it. Is that much of a difference? That's ridiculous. There's that much of a difference between king d1 and king d2. Okay, it's not that much of a difference. Oh, king d1? There's rook e5. Wow, and okay, because king d1 was rook e5, and I can't take hit because of this. So actually, I need to spot this. So then after king d1, after rook e5, then I need to play something like a4, and I give up one pawn, which is probably not ideal. I guess in my head, I was never planning on taking this pawn. I was using it as shelter on d1. Yeah, d2, maybe this again is like, you know, I'm being too cautious about putting my king on a dark square when I have a dark square bishop when there's actually nothing to worry about, because any check I always go king d3 and my king has just gotten a bit stronger. Like, there's no way to attack this king. If there was a knight on the board, then I start to get very worried. But actually, given there's only rooks and bishops, probably king d2 is just a better move. Yeah. Oh, and my laptop is crashing. Lovely. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so king d2 is better. And we should be able to take this. I mean, if we take and we go here. God, this is a long line. I want to say king c3. Bishop c5. Maybe I even go king c4. I mean, but we're really messing around here. Like, what is this? I mean, a4 I'm sure is still okay, but definitely not ideal. I mean, I want to take this if I can. My king is then so exposed. I don't even know. Don't even know. If I take here, go here, go here, may go here. I've got a choice of either rook d1 or I could play like king c4. King c4 I'm not trusting though. King c4 they can probably like... I don't know. Play like king d6 or king c6 or something. They can't play king c6, my knight's on d4, but... Yeah, I don't like... I don't like this. Don't like weakening my king in the center like this. It's just... Let's take it. Yeah, of course there's no comment from Axel Smith about knight takes d4. Just like Engine says knight takes d4 is good, we can relax. So rook d5. King c3 or king d3. Note how king e3 is losing. So this is what I mean about, you know, you're taking a bit of a risk when you play like this. King c3 and bishop c5. I saw this flash up, and the rooks to d1 are also completely fine. Rook hd1, what about rook c8? Wow, king c4 only move is just like... Just please, I don't want this kind of chess. I don't want to play this. So probably king c4 immediately then is better. King d6. And then we've always got knight d5 check if things get too hairy. But yeah, okay. Whatever. I mean, I think honestly my answer, even if it loses a bit of objectivity, I mean, it is the calmer, more careful approach. Having said that, I did miss this rook a5 resource to win a pawn. So probably should look a little bit deeper after recapturing here on d5. But yeah, let's see what people are saying. Bishop takes d4, e takes d4, queen a4, b5. Bishop takes b5, a takes b5, queen takes b5. Yeah, that's what I got to as well. Well done, Izuru. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Okay, sounds like you're getting some nice chess training in. Josh, good to hear. Yeah, so it looks like we all stopped at the same place. Well done, Armani, as well. Really, you would have calculated castling long as well. I mean, I hate the look of it. I might look at it for a brief second, but I genuinely wouldn't play it. It's just too much risk. Welcome Frizz to the stream as well. Okay, let's try and finish maybe one, maybe two final exercises. I want to get a very quick lunch. And then I need to go teach some chess. I actually don't know who my target audience will be. It's either going to be the public or it might be some juniors who have finished their games and want some analysis. I don't really know. But yeah, whatever it is, I'll be ready. So let's go. Okay, we got 2 knights against knight and bishop. We've got 2 6 pawns, 6 pawns. Okay. Equal material. The king is a little bit more active than ours. Although the king is struggling to come in. I mean, they need to move a knight and then bring the king in. Our pawn is currently vulnerable to their knight. Our knight is pressuring all of these pawns. This knight can probably be improved. I don't know where. This is a passed pawn. The bishop is a big pawn right now, just trying to defend. So, okay. What candidate moves do we have? Well, we've got the passive move of knight c7 to protect here. We've got the more aggressive move to counterattack on c3. We've also got the sacrifices in case we can make a passer. And we don't really have time to activate the king because I really don't want to give up material. So, at the very least, we've got knight c7. But we want to be a bit more active if possible. So let's calculate our sacrifices. Let's imagine we take on a3. Well, if we take on a3, they could always take on d5 and just ignore us. But then we do get another passed pawn. We could play knight c2 with check, then play a3. Looks extremely promising. So let's assume for now that they take the knight on a3. My plan is to then play knight b5. We're attacking the bishop. The bishop has to go. They don't have a counter check. Let's say we move back to c1. Then we can push a3. And we are literally threatening to push b2 and b1. But we have sacrificed the piece, right? So let's say in this position they go bishop c1. And we go a3. They could play king d2. We cannot go a2 because they go bishop b2. And then we get stuck. So if we go b2 here, they can sack. We take back. And then they go king c2. We can then take the pawn on c3. They take the pawn on b2, ignoring our knight. And it's not clear that we have a winning position there. What about taking on c3? Bishop takes knight here. I mean, here this is probably even worse. It feels worse, but let's see why. I mean, let's say they go bishop a3. I mean, I could take the pawn on a3 as well, but let's say I go c3. And let's say this happened. It should transpose, right? I go b2. They take, and then king c2. But my knight is... Yeah, my knight is still on b5. It's almost the same. Except that there's a pawn on a3 this time. So I could take... Or I could queen, king takes, knight takes a3, king b2, knight c4 or something. But yeah, not clear that it's winning. There's still pressure on d5. So, okay, what about this knight e4? Before we tunnel vision too hard. Let's say they take on d5. Oh, they even defend the pawn. That's very annoying. Well, in that case, then maybe I do need to sacrifice. But take on a3, bishop takes a3, knight b5, bishop c1. I can also go knight takes c3. It's possible. But I don't really like it after king d2. So what about knight takes c3, bishop c3, knight b5, bishop a1, knight takes a3, king d2, knight back to b5. It does look promising. It does look promising, right? Knight c3, bishop c3, knight here, bishop a1, knight takes a3, king d2, knight back to b5. Like, how do they stop a3, b2? If they play like king c1, then I can literally just go like a3. And next move, I'm going to try and even play c3 before pushing b2. Looks very promising. Whereas if I take on a3 first, I feel like the bishop is better placed on c1. And we also can't get away with taking c3 as easily, I think. Because now the knight is going to be like more vulnerable to attack, right? The king can attack it on d2. So I think knight takes c3 and here. And do they have any other ideas? If they play like bishop b4, we just push b2. If they go king d2, then we can take on a3. But then they can go king c1. Maybe they actually stop my pawns. Because if I go back b5, then they go king b2, but then I've got a3, and then I win. So maybe this is actually winning still. I go king takes knight takes a3. And they still don't have something like this, because I still push b2. I really think knight takes c3 is winning. Or at least the best try. Better than knight a3, so let's go for it. Crazy. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me why knight a3 is better. Wow, knight c7 is... I forgot to compare it to the safe move, but I really was getting good vibes from knight takes c3. So let's investigate this, actually. What is the difference? Looks like everyone is going for knight takes a3. I mean, it was my instinct. A3 is stronger because it's farther from the king. But the thing is, in my calculation, I was cycling the knight back to b5 and then taking on a3. So it was like the knight is further away from the king through my move order instead. But let's see what was the problem. Wow, I am lost. I'm completely lost. Oh, probably because knight takes d5. Oh my god, it's going to be knight takes d5, isn't it? Yeah, I just didn't see this move. Yeah. I wonder in a game if I would have blundered this. Or would I have gotten... Yeah, it's just about considering more of my opponent's candidate moves, isn't it? Like, I'm just not looking enough. Knight takes d5 just defends the bishop, just didn't pick up on that. King d2, I thought this was winning after knight takes a3. But again, there's this knight takes d5 idea, which I didn't see. And this is only a draw. Again, because of knight takes d5. I think this move was just not in my calculations, annoyingly. I was very, very happy about this idea. But again, knight takes d5 is strong. Yeah, I was kind of looking at maybe the knight trying to come back, protect here, defend the square. And then I'd have to go for b2, and I don't win the pawn, but I still got the structure, so I felt like, okay, it's best try. Yeah, bishop a1, I guess, is just bad. Because then I take here. King d2, I go back. And again, knight takes d5 saves the day. But even if not, this is apparently strong. Yeah, because the point is they can take and defend their bishop and then move their king. Yeah, I just didn't spot this geometry, which was a very weird blind spot. Knight a3 is apparently winning though, which is very surprising. So let's say bishop c1. Wow, and not a3, which is apparently drawing. But knight takes c3. And I didn't like this, because I saw that it defends the pawn, but I thought that it's just a target to the king. But we don't care that it's a target to the king, because we've got moves like knight b1 or knight e4. Yeah, that's a tough find. Like, I don't really get it. Like, what if the king just comes back out, and we're threatening to win this again? You don't have a3, so you have to try c3, I guess. And now this is way too slow because we're already playing b2. Yeah. Nah, that's a complicated one. For me, at least. a3. At least Dogfish struggles a bit with it as well. Yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, that was a weird one to get wrong. I'm gonna try and get one final very, very quick one in just to try and end on a positive. Yeah, knight c3, crazy move to find. But yeah, tricky stuff. Yeah, very, very good explanation for his saying king d2 or knight takes d5 is saving the day, which indeed it does. Okay, I want to squeeze in one final one, and then we go teach some chess. Okay, queen rook rook, queen rook, knight bishop, bishop bishop. So they've got knight and bishop for rook. We've got 4 pawns against 5, so we're a pawn down, and they have bishop knight against rook. So we're 2 points down. Are they against Yanovsky? What to do? Okay, so what's going on there is pressure on our pawn on f2. We have pressure on e7. The knight, okay, is defended twice actually. Maybe the bishop is vulnerable. We've got this kind of stuff. We got checks. Okay, so I mean, rook takes e6 is definitely the move that stands out. Rook takes e6. If they throw in this, we got king h1. If they ever take back, we go queen g6. And does that actually win? Don't see how it's winning, to be honest. So okay, rook e6 is one candidate. Any other candidates? Knight takes e7, they just take it. Don't see a follow-up. Queen g6. Don't see a follow-up. I mean, rook e6 feels like the only promising move. Maybe this square is vulnerable if I could like somehow recycle the knight. How do I make this all work? I guess rook e6, pawn e6, queen e6, wherever the king moves, and I take on e6. I save my knight. I win a bishop and 2 pawns. Okay, sure, they can throw this in. And I mean, their king is super weak. Oh, for God's sake, I miscalculated at the start, right? This is the problem with going too quickly. I miscounted, right? I've got queen, queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop. Oh no, I didn't miscount. I'm so confused, man. Wait, so rook e6, bishop f2, king h2, pawn takes, queen takes, king h8, and takes. At the end of this line, am I tripping? Am I tripping? Wait, I'm so confused. I literally can't count. I literally can't count. Yeah, there's bishop, bishop, knight, knight, and I'm actually in exchange up. Oh my god, I just recounted and I still thought I had rook for 2 pieces. That's actually unbelievable. Okay, so know how many damn pieces you have. That changes everything. So I'm actually the exchange for a pawn up, which makes this way more attractive to do. So yeah, just count your pieces carefully, Michael. And even if we're in a rush, don't calculate so quickly that you miscount, because then literally it's all for nothing. Yeah, unbelievable. Did anyone pick up on the fact that I miscounted twice? It's actually crazy. I literally thought I was material down. I thought they had 2 pieces and a pawn for a rook. Unbelievable. Well done, Sum Wong. Got 3.5 out of 9 standard, gaining 7.6. FIDE, let's go. Gaining 60 blitz. Okay, we'll take that. Yeah. Michael's missing a tempo. I don't think it's about tempo. I think it's just you know, like miscounting. But it's fine. You know, we are sharp. We just need to be composed at the board. I'm feeling good about my chances today. But okay, this is, you know, clearly a talented junior. We've got to be careful. And okay, I am off to go teach some chess and then play some chess. So wish me luck, guys, and see you on the other side. Okay, bye, guys.